At the core of human behavior lies a fundamental question. Do we act for our own benefit or the good of others? This question introduces the concepts of egoism and altruism, two opposing yet equally important aspects of human motivation, and how these two are interconnected via compassion. Let's explore these concepts from a healthcare perspective, exploring their influence on ethical decision making, their impacts on patient care, and their roles in shaping a more compassionate society. First, let's understand egoism. Egoism may be defined as the view or attitude where a person gives primary importance to their own interests, needs, or happiness. In philosophical sense, ethical egoism in moral philosophy argues that actions are morally right if they promote one's own good. Psychological egoism, on the other hand, claims that all human actions are ultimately motivated by self-interest, even when they look altruistic. For example, if someone donates to charity mainly because it makes them feel good or improves their reputation, this reflects egoistic motivation. Egoism, that is anaparasti or nafsparasti, in Islam, let's have Islamic perspective. In Islamic terms, egoism is related to the nafsul amada, the compounding self, which pushes a person towards selfish desires, greed, arrogance, and neglect of others. The Quran warns in the 53rd ayah of Surah Yusuf, Innal nafsa lamara bisu, बेशख्स नफ्स तो बुराई पर उकसाता है. Indeed, the soul is ever inclined to evil. Egoism in its extreme form becomes self-worship, that is nafs ki ghulami, where a person pursues only their own interest, wealth, or comfort, ignoring the needs of others. Now let's understand altruism. Altruism is the opposite tendency, acting for the benefit of others, sometimes even at the cost of one's own comfort, interests, or survival. In philosophical sense, ethical altruism holds that the moral value of an action lies in its benefit to others, not to oneself. For example, a person who risks their lives to save a stranger from danger demonstrates altruism, as their action is focused on the other's welfare. The concept of altruism in Islam The Quranic concept closest to altruism is Isar, giving preference to others' needs over one's own even when one is in difficulty. Allah praises this quality in the 9th ayah of Surah Al-Hashir. وَيُسِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَا كَانَ بِهِمْ حِسَاسًا, जो अपनी ज़ात पर उनको तरजीह देते हैं अगरचे खुद उन्हें सख्त ज़रूरत हो. They give others preference over themselves even if they are in need. For example, the Ansar of Medina shared their homes, food, and wealth with the Muhajirin, showing selfless love and generosity. The Prophet ﷺ said, "None of you truly believes until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself." Quoted in Bukhari and Muslim. This hadith is the essence of altruism. One's faith is incomplete without selflessness. Now understand the compassion. Compassion is the deep awareness of another's suffering, accompanied by the motivation to relieve it. Compassion can fuel both altruistic and egoistic actions depending on the underlying motivation. For example, compassion with altruism is helping a poor person by giving food without expecting anything in return. Compassion and egoism in disguise, helping someone mainly to feel proud, superior, or relieved of guilt. The concepts of compassion in Islam. Compassion, the closest meaning of compassion in Urdu will be rahmat, shafqat. We know compassion is central to Islamic ethics. Both Allah's names, Al-Rahman, the most compassionate, and Ar-Rahim, the most merciful, emphasizes compassion. The Prophet ﷺ is described in the 107th ayah of Surah Al-Anbiya as وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ, और ए नबी, हमने आपको तमाम जहानों के लिए रहमत बनाकर ही भेजा है. And we have not sent you, O Muhammad, except as a mercy to the worlds. Prophet Hazrat Muhammad ﷺ said, "The merciful are shown mercy by the most merciful. Be merciful to those on earth, and the one in the heavens will be merciful to you." Quoted in Tirmidhi. Compassion in Islam is not only feeling for others, but taking action, feeding the hungry, helping the sick, forgiving the wrongdoer. Relationship between egoism, altruism, and compassion. We see compassion as a bridge. Compassion is the emotional root that can lead to altruistic actions. But human psychology is complex. Compassion can also be mixed with egoistic desires. So the spectrum is pure egoism, which means self-centeredness even if others suffer. Then pure altruism, complete selflessness even if it harms oneself. And compassion lies in between because it's other focused like altruism, but it can also satisfy one's inner emotional needs like egoism. So it's a bridge between these two, or it has got the good parts of altruism as well as the good components of the egoism. In a philosophical debate, some argue there is no pure altruism, since even compassionate acts give inner satisfaction, egoistic benefit. Others say that does not reduce their value because the action still relieves sufferings. So, in summary, egoism means for me, altruism means for you, compassion means I feel your pain, let me respond, which may lead to altruism but sometimes blends with egoistic motives.